Okay, Fred Burrows with Plumbers. We've got a flooring issue right here, and I want to show the customer a few things. Ma'am, I'll show you in here what's going on. I asked the customer if she's going to go through insurance or not. I want to show a few things here. Let's turn this light on. I've got mine. There we go. Okay, I want to show you a few issues that we have with this. Number one, whoever did this flooring did a bad job. That's evident right there. I'm not a flooring guy. I'm a plumber, right? Leak detector.
I don't know who did it.
Now, I want you to see how there's no gap here? So when they install the flooring, there has to be a gap. So the reason the floor is buckling right here is because there's no room for expansion. You have to leave a gap, and then you use this to cover the gap. See how these guys put it? See it's right up against this?
Right.
So see how I'm pushing it? There's no room for this to go except up.
Oh.
So it had to come up.
Okay.
So this is going to have to all come up and get redone, right? When this all comes up and gets redone, we have a secondary issue that I want to point out. That flooring doesn't have to do with, do you see this discoloration and rotting of this?
Yeah.
All right. So we have two issues to be concerned with on the exterior of the home, the window, okay, and it being sealed in, as well as where the block wall goes down to the foundation, making sure that's sealed as well. All right, because we're seeing evidence when I did the thermal camera. You can see it right here. You see that? Now, there's no water, but that's because this wood has soaked it up. So we have had a leak here. But the leak is evident by what I see on the wood, not the floor buckling. The floor is buckling because the floor was installed with no room for expansion. Right on the directions on any of this stuff, it tells you've got to leave, whatever it is, 1/8 of an inch. Okay, now you got to have a gap or it's gonna buckle and come up just like this. Happens with tile, happens with this stuff, happens with anything. That was just somebody who did not know what they were doing. All right.
I know we had it done, but I can't remember who did it.
Yeah, whoever did it was bad. Okay, so we know that. So the next thing is, so your process right now in this situation is you have somebody come in here and get this floor, get this floor up, and so you can get a new floor in or get it fixed, okay? But before the new floor goes in, because of the issues with the structure, right? This floor comes up. What has to happen is a water test on the outside. What's a water test? Taking a hose and nailing this like a hurricane. Spraying this down. You don't wait for rain, okay? You try to get water to come in. And when it comes in, then you seal it. You seal whatever the issue is. The window, painting lower on the bottom to seal the wall. But you seal the issues. And then you retest it with water. That's the process that you have to go through now. But this baseboard will have to come up and will need replaced. And once you get all this off and they hit this window, likely they're going to get water to come into the place from the window. Just from the evidence.
From the window, from around the window?
Yep, just spraying water, it's going to come in. That's right. When a window leaks, I'm a plumber, and I end up here because of this. Even though I'm not a structural guy, right? But I'm going to tell you, I found hundreds of window leaks. What happens with the window leaks is you don't see it here. You end up seeing it there. The reason being is it'll ride the block wall. So there's a gap between the block wall. So you don't see it here. Guess where you see it? Here.
Right.
And look, here. Chances are even this window over here should be checked to see if it's not sealed up appropriately. If you've got irrigation hitting this especially, it's going to leak when, if the sprinkler heads are hitting the side of the house. But it's very evident right there and there, that we have an issue.
Oh, yeah, I knew we had an issue.
Yeah. But the floor needs to come up. The floor's got to get put in the right way too. Like I said, There's a reason that you're supposed to have a gap there. So that needs to get done. That baseboard needs removed. You know, any damage that they have there, they want to get rid of, clean it up. But I always say before a floor goes in, you test structure. You test the structure.
Who do I get to do that? I've lost my better half recently, and I'm on my own, and I don't know.
Maybe the water restoration company that deals with leaks, especially if you're going through insurance. Okay. Do you know what your deductible is? No. Okay. Well, I'm going to get you some information of people more adequate. You definitely don't get the plumber to do it. You know. So.
So there's no leak under. There's no. Of course, what I thought was there's a water coming into the house. There are pipes under there, and it's leaking.
Hey, guess what? I knew this wasn't a plumbing leak
Oh.
the moment I walked in.
Oh.
Nothing about it made me think it was a plumbing leak.
Oh.
You want to know why?
Yeah.
Plumbing leak, the pipes always have water in it. Okay?
Okay.
So if you get water, now leaks, water always travels the path of least resistance, right?
Yeah.
So if you have a leak below the foundation, which I deal with, most of my leaks are plumbing leaks.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a leak below the foundation, water's going to come up. Water's going to keep coming, isn't it? Until you shut the water off. But you've had the water on the whole time. And you have no.
Shut it off
When you leave?
leave.
Yeah. But you have no water in your house right now. You have water damage in your house. You have a badly installed floor. But you have no water down here. None of this down here. There's no water. The thermal camera showed no water. There's no water in here.
Good. I guess that's good, right?
Yeah. But water has been in here, right?
Right.
And we can see the evidence around the windows that points to the structural leak. Okay. Furthermore, now she mentioned to me one other thing that made you think that maybe we should come out. And you mentioned a high water bill, correct? Mm-hmm. And is that right? Now, I'm going to go into that right now, and I'm going to take a look at your water meter outside to see if it's moving. So don't use any water.
Okay.
That's going to be the secondary part of this whole little thing that I've done. All right?
Okay.
And there's a leak indicator. So if water is leaking, it's going to constantly go. But I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think you're going to have a leak. That'd be one heck of a coincidence. That's all it would be, because it's not going to have to do with this. This is what I said it is. Bad floor installation, structural issues. So let me go over and I'm going to look at that water meter for her as well. Don't use any water, okay? Go out and show the structure of this house. You can see where water's been an issue here. It's a nice long video report for the customer. Got to locate her water meter. I gotta find her meter box. So I'm gonna end this first video. I'll do a secondary one. We're in the city of Venice, so I'm gonna have to find out exactly where that water meter is.